Damn, these things are big! I'd like to apologize to all of our viewers because we promised you a Comparo at the start of the year. Yes, I know, I apologize. We'll get to it as soon as possible, but in the meantime, we have been working on something big. Something very big, like over 100 tons big. This is the DongFeng KC and this is the Howo A7. Now, I know I already look small next to cars, but this is friggin' ridiculous. Oh, and Earl, this shit's not working. Let's start with the A7. It's not the prettiest thing on the planet, but it's not bad looking either. I never thought I'd say this, but it definitely does not look like it's down in the dumps. These are jokes. Up front, you got a nice fiberglass grille. Fiberglass grille, followed by more lights than a spider has eyes, if you include the indicators. Now, the DongFeng is roughly the same as the A7, but in this case, instead of a fiberglass bumper, you get a steel bumper, just in case you want to nudge a couple of people on, the highway that hog the left lane. I know that it can't go on the left lane, but I'm just saying, And also, it's got a more traditional look than it does to the A7. Oh, and if you're worried about scratching these pretty little lights when you're nudging people on the left lane, worry not, because this comes with a grille, much the same as like a hockey mask. Oh, yeah! We have to make mention of the sheer size of these things. These are 10-wheeler trucks, meaning that the massive engines drive the 4 pairs of tires that you can find in the back. The dimensions of this guy, are you sitting down? It's 8,500 millimeters long, 2,550 millimeters wide, and 3,500 millimeters tall. Now, the A7 does have road tires, which is perfect for the city, in case you want to go on long drives with your loved one and 5 hippopotamus in tow. Now, it is a dump truck, and it does use hydraulics to lift the bed. Now, on this A7, it uses a center mount system, which it's pretty cool, but it's kind of hidden, so you really can't see it, but we'll get to that a little bit later. Now, it's largely the same on the KC. You still have a massive engine that drives 4 pairs of tires at the rear, but the dimensions are slightly different. Its length is 8,600 millimeters, width at 2,550 millimeters, and height at 3,450 millimeters. Which makes it a little bit shorter, but a little bit longer than the A7. Now, unlike the A7, which has road tires, this guy comes with knobbies, just in case you want to compete in the Dakar Rally. You never know. Now, on to the lifter of the DongFeng, which is located right here. Now, unlike the A7, where it lifts from the middle, this guy lifts its bed from the front end, which is actually better and easier in the long run. And plus, to get to it, to provide maintenance and whatnot, it's a lot easier because you don't have to go through so much metal. Now, we can't exactly put these guys through a drag race, although I'd love to, that'd be hilarious. However, what we can do is figure out which one of these trucks can raise their beds the fastest. Are you ready? Are you ready? 3, 2, 1, let's go! This goes to show white men can tilt, but they can't jump. That's not that bad, dude. That was pretty close. Pretty darn close. Now, once you lift the cab via power assist, it will reveal a massive 9.7-liter turbo diesel engine that produces 371 horses and, get this, 1,500 newton meters of torque. Yep, this 6-cylinder right here weighs almost as much or even more than a city car. That's crazy! Now, while the A7 does have a power assist cabin and getting to that engine is such a breeze, the problem is that if the battery craps out on you, yeah, you're gonna have a very, very hard time getting to that said engine. Now, unlike the A7, this thing is more manual labor-ish to see the engine. But once you do, that sucker is even more impressive because this thing is a 9.5-liter turbo diesel, but it produces 375 horses and 1,600 newton meters of torque. Literally mind blown. How is that even possible? Now, while it does take you a little bit more hard labor to get to the engine of the DongFeng, the beauty about it is that when you do get to it and you don't need power assist to get to it, you've got more torque and more horsepower. So it's a toss-up really. Do you want a power hood or do you want more power under the hood? I came up with that, not Earl. Just saying. It's like a chihuahua climbing the Andes. Inside the A7, you're greeted by air seats, man. You gotta love it. Bounce, baby, bounce, baby, bounce. Now, it's actually not bad up here. It's not a Rolls, but it's actually not all that bad up here. However, I did gotta say this, man. This confuses me the worst out of me. First gear and sixth gear, same position. Second gear and seventh gear, same position, so on and so forth. Reverse, yeah, there isn't just one, there's two of them. I know how to drive a stick, but anybody can drive this? Give that guy a raise. That's, how? I don't even, other than that, you're looking at a total occupancy of 3 people, which includes the driver, a passenger, and a sleeping giant. You also get an audio system, air conditioning, a gap between the front passengers that is as wide as the Nile. Getting the DongFeng, yeah, it's good enough. Same amount of switches, same amount of luxury. That term is relative when you're talking about a truck. It's okay, it's pretty good. The seat is a little bit springy. It's not air though, there's no Jordan. But it is, as you can say, enough, really. As we mentioned earlier, this DongFeng has more horsepower and more torque, and it also has more gears. Like 10 on the A7 wasn't mind-blowing enough. This guy's got 12. Yep, 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I'm tired. Getting in the DongFeng, you will note that, yeah, it's good enough. The seat is just a bit springy, the infotainment is not as good, and you still get occupancy for 3, but it's not as plush. You still get the same amount of gears, many cubby holes for storage, and still a gap as wide as Madonna's front teeth. The NVH going at 5 kilometers per hour must be pretty loud since the engine has a lot to do with that and you sit on top of it. Turning that thing is like piloting a battleship. It takes a while and a lot of effort before you see results. Kind of like going to the gym, and believe me, that thing is probably a workout to steer. I can only imagine how much effort it takes to park that thing. Imagine parallel parking. Man, that'd be a hassle. Valet, please. Now, the DongFeng is not as plush, and first thing that you'll notice is that seat that I was talking about, and it's not as springy or as bouncy. But hey, at the very least, it's more durable, and it's got more power too, with fewer parts to go wrong. You've got the brute, and you've got the smooth operator. Now, the both of them do love to get down and dirty, except this guy seems like he likes to get down and dirtier, while this guy, well, treat it right and it'll treat you better. They both come in at almost the exact same price, which is around about 3.4 million Philippine pesos, which is not bad considering that a Mustang costs 3.5 million pesos. Yeah, I know, different strokes for different folks. But if you think about it, that's not so bad considering these things can literally move Earth. But we argued that the DongFeng would take the cake over the other guy. Sure, you get all the amenities in the A7, but these aren't cars. They're work trucks. And you want these things to last you many, many years. At least for rigs like these, the DongFeng wins. Oh, and one more thing. Welcome to TruckDeal. This is friggin' ridiculous. It's so scary. It's like a chihuahua climbing Everest or the Andes. Good grief.